Crypto, nah, nah. Digital gold in my hands, nah, nah, nah. Crypto, nah, nah. Hey. Blockchain's the vibe, understand, nah, nah, nah. Nah, 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 nah. I met a miner down in Silicon Bay. He says Satoshi's go still leads the way. I tossed my dollars, jumped into the trade. Now every hash is how I get paid. The charts were red, but I held tight. Dreaming of Lambos in the moonlit night. From zero to hero, while it's my throne. Decentralized life, I'm never all alone. Crypto, ooh, nah, nah. Half my funds are locked in blockchain, nah, nah. I took a chance on Bitcoin, now I'm stacked, nah, nah. Can't stop this wallet, no, ooh, nah, nah. Crypto, ooh, nah, nah. Traded fiat for some ether, nah, nah. Holding tight through dips, I'm never flat, nah, nah. This ledger's mine, oh yes, ooh, nah, nah. NFTs flashing, I'm buying the art. Gas fees are stealing a piece of my heart. NFTs flashing, I'm buying the art. Gas fees are stealing a piece of my heart. Crypto, oh, nah, nah. Half my funds are locked in blockchain, nah, nah. I took a chance on Bitcoin, now I'm stacked, nah, nah. Can't stop this wallet, no, ooh, nah, nah. Crypto, ooh, nah, nah. Traded fiat for some ether, nah, nah. Holding tight through dips, I'm never flat, nah, nah. This ledger's mine, oh yes, ooh, nah, nah. NFTs flashing, I'm buying the art. Gas fees are stealing a piece of my heart.
Traders don't sleep, they chase the sun. With each tick, their hearts are one. Candlesticks and rhythm play. Where will profits soar today? I shop like a hawk in flight. Charts revealing day and night. Gamble here and take a stand. Fibonacci got my hand. Swing high, swing low. Tell me where price is gonna go. Swing low, low, swing high. Tell me where I need to buy. Fibonacci, show me the way. Numbers twist like a sacred tale. Riding waves on fortune's sail. Up and down the markets roar. Fibonacci, what's in store? Trades like whispers in the storm. Patterns shift to brand new form. Bold predictions bright as day. Fibonacci, show the way. Swing high, swing low. Tell me where price is gonna go. Swing low, low, swing high. Tell me where I need to buy. Fibonacci, show me the way. Numbers twist like sacred tale. Riding waves on fortune's sail. Up and down the markets roar. Fibonacci, what's in store? Trades line long. Swing low. Tell me where price is gonna go. Swing low, low, swing high.
check. 1 2 1 2. Check. There we go.
Come and chart my lines, let's trade tonight. I've got the levels, we'll hit them right. Crypto's dancing, feel the golden fight. Oh, Fibonacci,
Give another minute just to let more people come in.
The peaks, they're moving so fine. Bitcoin's bouncing on the golden line. Step by step, we'll catch the sign. Ride the ratios, it's our design. Ether swaying through the night, so sweet. Every retrace.
Looks like a couple of people are checking out. Okay.
Up, no retreat. Oh, Fibonacci, own the heat. Fibonacci, Fibonacci. Chart those lines so slow, let the profits grow. Fibonacci, Fibonacci. Levels locked, we know, feel the crypto flow. Fibonacci, Fibonacci. Gains in view, let's go. Riding high to low. Oh, Fibonacci, nice and slow. Fibonacci, oh. Pasito, we map the play. Softly hit the zones, it's our payday. Ay. Dips a line, but we'll sway. Turn those numbers to a winning state. Sube, watch the candles climb. Altcoins hitting gold, it's prime time. No rush, we'll nail it every rhyme. Fibonacci, babe, it's by design. Fibonacci, Fibonacci. Chart those lines so slow, let the profits grow. Fibonacci, Fibonacci. Levels locked, we know, feel the crypto flow. Fibonacci, Fibonacci. Gains in view, let's go. Riding high to low. Oh, Fibonacci, nice and slow. Fibonacci, oh.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and get started here.
Let's take it slow.
For those of you out there that have been hitting that like button, I'm just going to say thank you very much.
Well, thank you, Ellis. Thank you very much. I think I'm getting used to being a turkey now. Welcome everyone to Chart School. I think this is number 7, the mystical number 7. Figure Fibonacci is pretty fitting for that. Fibonacci it can be a rabbit hole to jump down to. So we're going to go over kind of just the basic concepts. I've been over this before, but you know, this is the Chart School series, so we'll go over this. And that will lead to the fun rabbit hole that we will eventually go down. 2 resources that help me to get where I am with Fibonacci, and I am not through. There's so much more to learn and consider and to absorb in Fibonacci. I'm not a guru, but we're picking up and we're learning. Fibonacci trading, Karen and Broden. There's actually a PDF version of this available in the trading group. You just got to look in the files section. That's there. Great books, McGraw-Hill. Big thick college style textbook. Well, it's not thick, but it's a college style textbook. It can get just as boring as a college style textbook. If you ever notice about college, they like to take these little concepts that you could actually kind of, you know, snip it down and put it into pages and pages and pages to understand it and redundantly explain it to you. But still, great stuff here. Even goes into using time. Now, I haven't jumped fully over there with that. You know, her strategy reminds me a little bit of a GAN technique, but still interesting, using Fibonacci time units. Also, another book available on Amazon by Stephen Miller. Now, I think this is a little self-published book by somebody who got some insight on Fibonacci. That was very helpful too. Very thin book, easy read. Goes over the basics and a lot of stuff, you know, we'll be covering here. A nice little take there. It's 2 good sources, in my personal opinion. Some that have helped me anyway, among some others. So welcome everybody. We got 7 people hanging out here. Let me say hello to everybody real quick. I see we got Roguelide, Board PC Guy, Chris Klein. Who else we got in here? Jesse Gullick. How you doing, Jesse? MG Motorsports, Ryan K, Avi Medina. Kelly L, I made it. Hey, good to see you, Kelly. Kelly posted an interesting video. Now, I've only checked out like a little section of it, so I haven't really done it, but it looks like it has a lot to do with trading mindset and maybe habits and just things like that to help you get your trading life to better. I'm looking forward to going and digging into it, but she posted it up there. Hey, thanks, Kelly, for doing that. I appreciate that. I like helpful stuff like that. All right, so today we're going to be diving into Fibonacci basics, and I think you'll learn more here than what you'll learn in your paid groups. Let me get to a chart where we can look at. I find that I'm turning into a Fibonacci trader. It just opens up so much. And it really can seem like, for somebody that doesn't understand it, it seems like it's almost magic. It's like, oh my God, you're predicting where price is going to go, and it can seem that way. But it's very mathematical, but not the kind where we got to get out the whiteboards or calculators to start, getting all, because that would just make my head explode. And that's not my forte. But it's more of it's more proportional type of mathematics. And the Fibonacci tool that we have available in TradingView and things like that just make it so much easier just to go. It becomes very intuitive, I believe. So let me get to a chart that we can play around with. Was there one that I've not used? Here's Bitcoin on Kraken. Do I have that one? Have I got anything going on with you? Oh, it's a blank. Are you blank chart? Are you blank enough? Oh, I got stuff going. That's old stuff. Wow, look at Bitcoin down here. Woo! We're still holding that 200 moving average. Thank you. I guess we're going to use, is there anything going on here? I just need a clear chart. Oh, this is one, yeah, where I've actually, yeah, we can use this one. Let's clear this guy off here. So Fibonacci, for those of you who don't know, over here in your toolbar on TradingView, also on your exchanges, like and I should probably do this a little bit too. You have them over here on your exchanges as well. It's usually the second one down, and you pull this little guy, and it's usually your first one. Fibonacci retracement is what we're going to be going into. There is also fib-based fib extensions, which I have a shortcut trick to use that with the Fibonacci retracement, and that's where you'll see me have my extra levels. And there's two different ways to look at that, but that's for another day. We'll get into that. And there's lots of fib things, fib time zones, and that's kind of what Carolyn gets into a little bit. Fib speed resistance bands and trend-based fib time. You got several fib circles, even fib spirals, fibs wedges, fib. You got all kinds of fib stuff, but what we're looking for is the fib retracement tool, and that's what you'll see me use a lot. And when you hear me say things like swing low to swing high, which if that's not catchy enough for you, I've got songs out there now. You should have heard one in the introduction to get these ideas in your head. Swing low to swing high, tell me where I need to buy. Swing high to swing low, tell me where price is going to go. And that's my method that I use. Now, I will say we had a discussion about this, or it came up in the Telegram group earlier. Some people have confusion about pulling your Fibonacci's, and I'm going to say, that some people say it works both ways, or it don't matter. It does matter, but you can, you don't have to do it my way. I've known other good traders and other good analysts. Charting Crypto is one of them. He just does a standard fib pull. I think everything I think is just one way or something, but you can play that. You can do that. That was the only thing that I needed to do when I first started out, was just one little way to do fibs. And that's usually, that's what we can gather in the trading groups and whatever. But I know there's a lot of groups out there, or there's some groups out there, some of these big paid groups, and I've heard them do that pitch, we'll teach you Fibonacci, and right here, and this and that. And I see them struggle with Fibonacci. I won't mention names because they get mentioned a lot. But I see them struggle with it, and they don't have a concept. They don't have a clue about what you're about to learn, okay? They don't. When I see them do it, I see them just grab something and look, it came down to the 786 right there. That would have told you. But that's the only time they ever use it. It's in hindsight or something like that. They never use it in planning, never use it as a predictive measure. And you can use this as a predictive measure, a way to forecast. There are lots of strategies set up on Fibonacci, including Scott Carney's harmonic trading. It's Fibonacci based, and it overlaps strongly. There is a lot of correlation between that and mine. And I mean, you'll see this stuff get so advanced. And don't worry about it. And I expect that we will, and one of these days I look forward to explaining this after I get a better grasp of it. But you'll see these things, these patterns like this, and these are called harmonic patterns. And the rumor is now they are supposed to be about 90% effective, even more effective than the traditional trading patterns that we learned. The only thing is, when I see people do this, you know, all they see is something done in hindsight. And one thing that I'm seeing as I'm learning more about their system and how it overlaps with mine, well, I'm actually doing the play of the harmonics when they play out. So what my strategies is teaching me is where to target this and actually play these moves to find, just like Steven talks about right here, how to use the power of Fibonacci ratios to identify potential reversal trading zones, because that's basically my strategy. I want to know where things are going to go the other way. I want to know where the pivot points are going to be, where, you know, the reversals are going to be, and that way I can try to play them as close as possible and then get the bulk of the move. Because if you can figure out a strategy that tells you where price is going to turn around, you know, you may not nail the perfect bottom, but you're a lot closer than a lot of other people. You know, you can catch these big moves and you know, note it that you can ride them up to some of these levels, and that's 1,000% gain right there. That was the whole Bitcoin move. And then anticipate where they might come down. Like, for instance, this that's a 618er, right? Or 0.5. No, 618. And you would be known to look for these certain levels here, and then the possibility of it going back up to other levels. It just makes it easier to kind of catch these moves in here and play them, in my personal opinion. But that's a little bit more advanced right now. We're not going to get anywhere near that. We're just going to take a look at the basic Fibonacci's. Okay. All right. So the first thing I would like to do is pull a Fibonacci, and I want to pull it from swing high to swing low. Tell me where price is going to go. And from this top to that bottom, and I'm over here on the weekly Bitcoin chart. It doesn't matter where you are, but that's it. You want to get your high to low, and then that will help you figure out resistance points on the next move up that we have no idea what's going to happen yet. We have no idea, but you'll see a relationship between this pull and these fib levels here. So that would be the first thing. The second thing I'd like to point out is that it's nothing but a 100% scale. Now, I've got extra bells and whistles over here, but normally all you're seeing when you get the standard fib pull is this little box from 1 down to 0. This little area right here, that's what you get. And I think I've already tweaked my BitUnix fibs, haven't I? I think I've already tweaked them out. Yeah, I've already got my extras, but I've only got them on one side over here. I've got them up here. So typically this is what you would see. You would just see this little box area. That's it. And that's the standard fibs. And the standard fibs that they typically give you are, can you see it on here? Let me maybe where we can see. The standard ones, blow this guy up. And they like to make them rainbow colors. I got my own little color code thing, and that helps me, and then I can draw lines and color code them, and then I know what they are going back with when I can erase the fibs and things. And then I can also tweak them, like how thick my line is, to kind of hit me if it's on a bigger pull, or dotted line if I think it might, I can use those things to help me differentiate where I pulled a fib and how its relationship is to where price is right now. That may sound confusing, but we will get there. We'll get there. Let's stick with this. Really, what you got something from, if we go from high to low, we got 0 at the bottom and 100% at the top. It's just a scale. That's all it is. It's just a scale from 0 to 100%. If you want to look at it, that's it. That's all it is. And that's all we do with ratios, and it's based on ratio and proportion, mathematical proportions. And of course, then we get the mathematical Fibonacci magical sequence involved here with the certain levels that we're looking at, and they just keep repeating, just like in nature. It just keeps repeating. And you will see me call out these levels for higher highs or higher lows, and they repeatedly get hit. Maybe not always perfect every time, but a lot more time than not, they get nailed almost to the line. So there's definitely something here, and it looks awesome, and maybe just somebody that doesn't know or understand, like, oh man, he must be a genius, he can see, he's psychic, and no, it's the math behind the Fibonacci and applying it to trading and to the analysis and forecasting, and it's just it feels like a magical tool a lot. And oh, we got 11 people hanging out, awesome. But it's very important to grasp the first concepts. Now, so we talked about it being a scale from 0% up to 1 when we pull from high to low, which is typically how most people pull. And this is for swing high to swing low. Tell me where price is going to go. So that means that we already had a top and we came down and made a bottom. And what we're trying to figure out is where this is going to go to. Now, the first thing that I'm gonna go is probably the best way to use this starting out is to help you monitor how well this move is going to move, because you can do that with Fibonacci, and that's why you'll see me do things. I always look at this 236. After we figure that we get a bottom, I'm looking at that 236. Because, and you'll hear me say this, and all of this may sound redundant, but that's why I say it a lot to make it stick. So it's not like you'll learn any hidden secrets here on the chart school, because I blab everything on my show. It's just I can spend more time elaborating on them where it may bore some other people. Some people know this, some people don't have a clue about this. And I was frothing at the mouth to figure this out, and it was so hard to find any information. I have dug and dug and dug, but I finally got on the right path there, down the right rabbit hole. And so this I'm going to share with you what I learned, and you can add it to your toolbox and go down your own rabbit hole, build it better. You know, you might learn some things that I haven't learned yet, and I hope you do, and I hope you share them if you ever do. But what I do when I'm measuring line, we're going to pretend this blue line is our price action there. Well, I like to draw out that little red line right there. And I know what you need to look at this as being, regardless of where you're pulling this. As soon as you get a top and a bottom, this will help you gauge the strength of the move. And so the idea is anywhere below here, below that 236, this is the best place to accumulate, especially if you're playing wealth strategies, slow accumulations, whatever your strategy is to accumulate, or if you're trying to nail a good bottom low price. You want it in these areas over here. So you can apply this and look for breakouts with your patterns or whatever else that you got going on. Just know that doing down here is going to be accumulation, and it could stay down here for a while, but as soon as price breaks up above this level, oh, now we're in business for something else. Okay. Now we're getting somewhere. Now we will start climbing up. It's just a ladder. Look at it as a ladder. And based on what price action did over here and over here, where it might have had hiccups and stuff, you will look to the left and see I've got a little hiccup over here. So this 236 area, it becomes a little bit more relevant. And so we'll keep that guy. And a lot of times you'll see things flip-flop through here, and that's a healthy sign, especially if we keep this level. Especially if we keep this level here, that's great. That means we're climbing the ladder. But sometimes she comes back down and maybe she does a double bottom, or worse, one scenario that you got to look for, and this is where it gets kind of tricky, especially if we're bottoming out and we're starting to get bullish. You won't see this, but if we're still in a bearish trend, you got to be worried about that, and we are right now. So these are some of the things we look at. Certain lift, if we can't get above here, if we keep getting rejected over here, let me clear these guys out. Can I erase this easy? Let me get all this mess out of here. And I think I'm honestly explaining more than was ever explained to me about Fibonacci just right here. And then when I turn around and show you what the trading groups and things like that teach you, you're like, oh my God, what do they actually use it for? That just for show up mostly, I think, for some of them. You either use it or you don't. You can't just, it's either part of your strategy or just something, oh, well, maybe a confirmation, I don't know. But anyway, so highs and lows. This area under here, consider it a good discount zone. We get back on track. All right, so we're talking about what if we get rejected up here? That's where we start looking for a higher low. And you know what? Here's the beauty of it. Once you get that other top, man, you can pull another fib and apply the same strategy. Well, it'd be a little bit. We'll do the other strategy for that one apparently, but you can still narrow things down through here, or you could still use. Watch me. What happened here? Oh, good. Or you could even do this right here and apply that same logic and then come down here. Draw your another horizontal line. And then you got a really, really, really sweet spot to try to get it. Okay, so you can do those ideas. That's fine. That's a little bit more advanced, but you can definitely do that. Legit, totally legit to do that. Now I'll help you nail some bottom prices within ranges and everything. But the thing to be careful about in a bearish trend, if we start getting rejected here, I mean, either we're going to bottom out in here and accumulate in here, and that's what we want to look for. But in a bearish trend, you might be ready to roll over, and that takes us down to lower areas, which I don't have on this one, but that brings us down to a lower third area. Okay. And so in a bearish trend, when things like this, a bearish trend, that's what we're watching out for. And sometimes we don't get over that 0.236. Sometimes we'll go up to the 0.2382 and we're doing okay, but then we lose and come back in here. So when we do that, we're looking for any kind of support and double bottom patterns and things like that to happen to save us from looking for a big dumpy dump. But any of that is technically on the table until you start getting above the 0.5 area. Now, a lot of times the more you get, the higher you get to that 618 Fibonacci area, that little middle, that little sweet golden zone in the middle. Once you clear that, you're pretty much safe to go for more upside. You can start targeting these other areas over here. But you're not in the clear until you get that. And even then, there's up some higher levels that may throw some kinks in our thing, in our play. And I hope that doesn't sound too confusing, but I would look at this as a way to measure the progression of the strength of the move. And every rung of the ladder that you can step up, and it may not be a perfect step, it may be a bumpy ride or whatever, but every rung that you get up just means that it's a stronger and stronger move for more upside. And eventually you'll come up to these areas at the top upper third. So let me see if I can explain this real quick. It's a zero at the bottom, 100% scale. That's variable because you can stretch it and everything, right? It's all about proportions and ratios. So the way to look at it is that the lower, divide it into pretty much thirds. You got this upper section here from your 786 all the way up to your 1. You got this lower section from your 0 up to your 382. That's your lower third. And then you got your middle third right here. The sweet spot's in the middle, above the 382 and right below the 786. This is kind of the middle range. We like the 618s because that's just that magical number that price just kind of gravitates to. I'm not going to call it a magnet, but it's just like it's a mean. It's almost like an average. It's just where we want to level out to, baby. It's the smooth section. It's that middle of the road kind of thing. That's that place of balance, and we just seem to kind of always go back there in relation to whatever arm or leg that we're on. So tell me, does this make sense so far? 12 people in the chat here. Does this make sense so far? High to low, it's a 0 to 100% scale. We divide it into 3 sections. This is normally a good section to buy. This starts being a place where, people start taking profits. And this is a place where people definitely start taking profits if they catch a low here. Okay. Does that make sense? But there are certain clues that we'll get into, and probably another one that can tell us when we can use these, higher things. We got into a little bit over, like if we can't get past our lower thirds, we may come down to this section down here. And we've been doing that a lot. And so you'll catch me talking more about this idea and this theory since we're in a bearish trend. You'll hear me talk more about these ideas than you will me for the ones up here. So you'll hear some different things from my mouth, just depending on where we are in the market. What happened here? Well, I think I screwed all that up. So let me come back to the chat real quick and yay, Bitcoin, look at you. Let's use the fibs right now on this one. Because we got a low, we got a high, And magically, we're going to look for support at these fib areas because they hold. And it seems like the 618 is holding because you can see that it bounced off here. The price is up here. So that's a good place to bounce on a 618 retracement. After we come up high and we come down to 618, that's usually where we will see bounces. That's usually the main place we'll see bounce. That's a good, decent bounce that we can get a nice move. Now, I'm going to go ahead and give you a little advanced alpha that I normally wouldn't jump into here, but I think maybe it's cool. And you'll see me use this a lot. This is a big part of my strategy. And it does not mean that this always plays out. There's going to be some things that it's got to, some boxes that's got to tick for this to happen. But once you do get, you can do a measure move. Measure moves work with this Fibonacci strategy. Oh, no, we lost that. So we came down to the 786. It's hard to see on these. Oh man, we're dumping on Bitcoin here. What is this? The 5-minute chart? And so that's not holding. You see it edging down here. I should put it on regular candles here. It's hard to see it with the. We're getting a Bitcoin sell-off as we speak, and I guess we just get to market here. Okay, so are we on regular candles? Okay, should be regular candles. All right, so we lost these levels. Now we're down. We're down to the lowest rung of the ladder here, the 886. Now that one needs to hold. The lower, since we're looking at it this way, swing low to swing high. Tell me where I need to buy. This is where, I mean, ideally you want to wait for complements and see if we can start getting a bounce on these areas. And sometimes you can go to a smaller time frame and actually see it starting to play out support on these areas. I'm having trouble. Are we back up here now? This is supposed to be regular candles, but it looks like Heikin-Ashi. It is Heikin-Ashi. There we go. I think this is regular candles. So yeah, they are dumping hard below the 786. So we're looking at this 886 Fibonacci area to hold. And it needs to. If it doesn't, you know, we're looking at the double bottom, and that's good. It looks like it is. It looks like the 886 will qualify as a hold. And nope, too early. Yeah, and this, I guess, is a good example of sitting here to wait for confirmation. We're coming down to the 886, and let's see if it holds. You need to hold. Lordy mercy, you need to hold. It's not holding. That's not good. Okay, so let's examine this based on what we just learned. Why is it in danger of rolling over? It looks like it is. Now, why would that be? Let's do a thing. Fibonacci, high to low. We didn't get past that 0.5. That puts us in danger of coming down to these lower areas in the bearish trend. And here we go. Here we go. Now, what I'm about to do now is going to be a little bit more advanced, but just to show you some of the ways that I use Fibonacci. Let's go to the that was a tiny time frame here on Bitcoin. Let's go here. I'm on TradingView now, and let me pull this guy over here. This is where my extensions come in handy, because knowing that I've got some other targets that I'm going to look for down here. I'm going to look at these first, but that one's told me where we were. This actually gave me. Here, I'm going to do something advanced, just to give you a taste of what's going to be ahead. Oh, geez, tell me no. Please say no. Please say no. That move alone right here getting rejected there when I use my Fibonacci extension tool, which is something a lot more different, could be spelling out the $75,000-$76,000 area. Right now we're at the 618 by this pull, and it need to hold. It need to hold. That's using a totally different fib idea, but that gives you an idea about where we can be going. Will you hold? Let's go back to our regular fib. Hopefully I'm not confusing you. Now I'm going to go from swing low to swing high. Tell me where I need to buy. And now see, I've got this one loaded up with my other fibs. And the ones I would be looking for at first is a 1.13. But the sweet spot would be this 0.27 here, area right here. that we would hope would hold. But you find out with the 0.5 that it also takes us down to these areas. Now I'm going to put the one above it. There's two areas right here that are really close, and sometimes I might miss it. I expect, yeah, here we go, losing that one, but we should be coming right down to one of these two, and hopefully one of these two will hold. If it doesn't, then we start having to look at 80, and I don't want to look at 80. So it's imperative right now with the fib strategy that this hold right here, and it looks like it might be. Are you? You didn't quite touch it. Is that my fault or your fault? Tighten up my fib. Maybe by the time I get through tightening up here, we'll see what it does here. Put it right there. That's where I got to get picky. All right. And, ooh, damn, you went through it. They are, we're at 81,000. Here we go. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen. Well, this is supposed to be about Fibonacci, but I've got a trade in over here that I've got to, I got to do a little tweaking to, if you don't mind. How do we get, get me out of here. I need to get my trade thing. All right, we're dropping like, wow. Oh, I got stopped out. Oh, I did. Oh, okay. Well, I'm first of all, I'm jumping in with something. I know it sounds crazy, but you're already past some of my fib levels. I'm not getting a bid here. I'm going with like low leverage 5x because I want to get me a nice one down here. So I got me an entry while she's climbing back up, but all right. That probably seems a little, now I'm coming back down here. That 0.2, come on back. I'm putting me an order in there. 83.71. 83.71. I'm going to catch me a low leverage thing. Look, my liquidation here for $26 I put in because I tore this account up. It was over 500, and I got liquidated on something at some point. Not a good thing, but it happened, so I'm being honest about it. But here I'm going low leverage where it's at 65,000 is my liquidation. I don't think we're going to get there, but I'm putting me another. I want to put me another $24 here at 83.72. I know it sounds like catching a falling knife, but if I'm using the fibs, hey, it's a controlled falling knife. And because of that certain 0.5 Fibonacci area that we left, I know that the 2.236 can be a deeper retracement for that guy. So I'm putting me in order here at 79. 79.886-ish area. Front run maybe a little bit. And I'm going to attempt to catch this falling knife using Fibonacci's rather than me just, I'm going to buy, like I used to do. And I don't recommend catching falling knives if you want to, but if you're going to do it, at least have a systematic way like a Fibonacci to help you along. What was that number? My short-term memory sucks. My short-term memory sucks. 79.866. I'll go with that. 79.866 is actually a little bit lower, but that gives us just a little wiggle room. And I want to go a full 25% here too. $36. So I've got orders down here, and the more it comes down and fill, the lower my liquidation on this very low leverage 5x will go down. So this is a little bit of a kind of a risky play, but then again, it's undoubtful we're going to 60,000. So I'm taking a chance. I've been wanting to get me a low leverage Bitcoin trade in and hold it for a long time because if you want to see what that looks like when you do that, because I did it over here on paper trading, and the only ones that have got me messed up are the altcoins over here. Got me in the negative, but all the Bitcoin trades I've got, them suckers are up. That's what took this $100,000 account, even though it's down $1 million. It's still what? It's still $1.5 million. What's got me down so much? Oh, I'm down $1 million on Onyx coin. At some point they put leverage over here, and I don't know how it works. It looks like it's 500 to 1. I don't know. I'm getting off topic though. So here we are. 6 minutes not giving us all the juicy gossip that we need right now to figure out if this is holding and what levels are doing right here. But here we go in the 1 minute, and now we see This 1618 area seems to have caught, and that's typical. Let me go over that idea. I wasn't trying to get into extensions, but that's the full extent of normally that you will see a ratio go to, is it's 1618. That's usually the deepest, and they usually don't always go there. But that will tell you, man, that's a strong move. And in rare occasions, like what I was expecting, it can come down to a 0.2 or 236, depending on where it rolled over at. That we'll get into. That stuff kind of gets into the stuff that these guys kind of hint at and talk about, and the harmonic strategy. But that was good that we got probably a local bottom in with that fib. Let's come over here and measure it just to make sure. Let me get rid of these guys because I might keep that one as support. Well, I don't even need that as support. Let's take our fibs and see what she gave us. Swing low to swing high. The 1618 area came down just a little bit below it. A little bit below it. Wasn't perfect, but it counts. Now, sometimes they are perfect and it's amazing. And sometimes they're just close enough, but you'll usually see one of the candle wicks or bodies or something. It will respect that line. And so that's the one that, if it's close like that, this is what we consider it when we're trying to take measure moves or make any kind of play like that. So the rule is, now that we've got a possible bottom, now we can go back up here and go back to the high and go swing high. Just like it was when we first started out. To swing low, tell me where price is going to go. We cleared this area. You see me do this all the time. Now I'm gauging the strength of this move. Can we get past the 0.5? We can. We got hope. We get past the 0.618. We got a lot better hope that we can come back up here and at least touch these areas, but we're still not out of the woods. We can still roll over and come down. Now that 0.2 area and 0.236 area is starting to line up more with my 0.27 from this move, saying, we may be getting closer and closer to that. So there might be another rollover, and God, you got to quit taking us down. Asia, come in. It's time for Asia to come in and buy up some Bitcoin. Let me come to the chat and see what you guys are saying. Has any of the stuff that I said so far made sense? I started with the market tanking that got me into some advanced stuff here, but maybe that shows you what, gives you some possibility. It shows you, how important this is to use and how it can be helpful to help you figure out these areas, because without this, you're just sitting there just guessing. I don't know where it's going to stop unless you're doing the old standard support resistance areas, looking over here. But how's that going to help you? There's nothing there. There's nothing there. Nothing there. It's just empty. And that's why we can go to 76, by the way. Sad to say it, but it is. Other than that, I mean, only other thing you would have is possible trend lines, which, they've already gave up the ghost there. Measure moves. I mean, those could give you an idea. You can take a measure move from this idea and say, we should be bottom out somewhere around here. Kind of crazy how they kind of come around the same areas, isn't it? All this stuff just overlaps. It's just amazing, in my personal opinion. Now here, we didn't even use this one. Swing low to swing high. Tell me where I need to buy. Where did you stop at? Oh, snap. Beautiful. Look at that. Remember, we're talking about the 1.1414 and the 1.382. Look at this. Look at this. Now, this is when you zoom it out and apply it, then it really, it nailed it. It didn't seem like it nailed it on the smaller ones, but on the bigger one, oh man, that is a perfect nailing of that. The 1.414, and it came back and retested the 1.382. Those two little Fibonacci areas I've got right there. Boom. This might be bottom. This might be bottom, because that has completed an AB equals CD move right there. This may be bottom. Let's cross our fingers. I can't swear to it. We got to wait for confirmations, but that may be bottom. Nice. Moving average is a flip though. Well, no, not completely. Not completely. We still got 6 over the 8, so there's still hope. But man. So this tells me maybe we can come back to 96, 93. Maybe. Let's take a look at this from that perspective. This is what you're going to see me do tonight. This is exactly what you're going to see me do tonight on the show. I'm going to go from swing high to swing low. Now that I see that, we're going to apply the same thing. We need to come back up to 87, 189. Next point of contention will be right over here. And if you look at the Fibonacci, just take it and look to the left and you will see the support. If it lines up, if the things are, if you line it up, those are the ones you need to pay attention to. So it was support here, support here, support here, support here. That's probably going to be a little area of resistance right there, 91.6. And the Fibonacci just automatically spells this out. Now, some people are always, you know, eyeballing it, and that's the way I was taught too. You find your horizontal support and resistance. I don't do that anymore because I let the Fibs do it for me. They're good at it. They're better at it than I am because I might be off a little bit. And the Fibs just, they've got the mathematical ratio for the move. They're in tune with it. So I'm kind of glad that we got to do this and see it, you know, put it into actual practice here, near and here. Let me come to the stream and see what you guys are talking about and questions and all that. Okay, so because I may have lost some of you guys because I didn't mean to go that deep into it. I still don't think I've covered everything I was going to go. Let's see. Your turkey's coming off. I was scared for a minute. Oh no, yeah, my real face will probably scare you. Oh no. Let's see. I see no questions yet. 2:09 a.m. over here. Unfortunately, the nightcap stopped. Oh no. Okay, I see no questions. Somebody called a shark. Shark pattern. Jesse Goat says, I'm on the 4-year cycle, road dog. I've started in the bear market. Kelly says, I guess CVO Crypto's got the beginning of the dip. He said it would be like 86.3, but saying it was going to go there for at least a month. I'm out of the context here. Jesse Gillick says, have to go sleep. Well, that's a beautiful thing about this for you guys that got the memberships, whether it was given to you or you're doing the $3 a month thing out of your own pocket. I wanted to make sure. I almost forgot about this stream, so I want to make sure to come here and give you guys value. And I've been looking forward to start talking about fibs because it plays a big part of my analysis. All right, let's see. Albie Bonilla says, I've been messing around with the harmonics tool on TradingView recently. Auto places T1 and T2 targets pretty accurate. I haven't played with that. That sounds interesting. I encourage you to keep doing that, and that will probably help you understand some concepts and learn and help things to click for you. So whatever does that for you. Are you looking for fibs to line up or to approach the moving averages to confirm? I look for whatever confluence that I can see around the Fibonacci. I like I said, I try to look to the left and look at support and resistance. That's important. If there happens to be a moving average at a Fibonacci, I'm paying attention to it. That's a signal. That's a sign. So it automatically makes it more important as a support resistance area. Yeah. So you're on the right track thinking that. Bought that book since you mentioned $8 on Amazon paperback. It's a good book, and that one helped a lot of things start clicking. Those sorry SOBs wait for you to start your class to dump. It looks like they did, but that was just perfect. Lost my $2 position, liquidate. Well, at least it was only $2, but hey. How we sorry about you losing. That happens though. I've been luckily on my spot margin positions that's where I've been paying all my attention. I haven't got liquidated over there, but I've had to take haircuts. I've had to manage risk and everything, and it's been a struggle for that. Made me kind of wish I just stuck with swing trading or just not put it all over there on, you know, even a little bit of leverage. It just adds stress that I don't need in my life, but that's what I did, so that's what I got to do until I can get out of it or change things up. But I did lose, you know, I talked about it on the BitUnix. They got me on one of those, so, but that's all right. We'll come back, and that's why I'm doing that low leverage thing right now. I am trying to get, if we have got to be close to a bottom on Bitcoin. She is not going to keep going down forever. This is not the bear market. It's a big steep correction, but we know that we can get up to a 30-something% correction and still bounce back. And this is a time when they do that, right? We looked at 4 years ago. We're at 26 right now, and maybe that's it, but we could come down, and this would be 31% down to 75. So I mean, 75 is still technically on the table historically. And we went over that last night. You know, 4 years ago, we also had a nice, we had a 31 and I think a 25 or 26, I can't remember, drop after, but This is perfectly acceptable still in the bull market, and we will still be in a bull market unless we make a low lower than our last one, which I think was about 48,000. Oh God. Oh, that would ruin everybody, I think. And that would make no sense. Shoulder, I see a triple top. I still see this as I still see that as the triple top pattern. The ones that I don't know. It's just like this dude has got the hands and says, I don't know. They're a doozy. Looks like a little bat. It's like a little vampire bat. It also looks like that. Or a mustache. Well, a greasy mustache. All right, I'm on 2 hour. Let's come down here. Let's check and see how we're doing here. See this? Trying to make a kind of a V-shaped recovery, maybe, or it could be could be one of them pennant things that breaks to the downside. That's what got us here in the first place. We were doing this. If you're looking at trend line, we go back to trend lines. We keep all this stuff kind of in here. But we lost that, and that was not good. That's the value of trend lines. Once you lose a trend line, you need to pay attention because something about to happen. Something about to happen when you break a trend line. And a lot of the gurus out there I see don't pay attention to those trend lines. They're too busy drawing a flag to the upside after it breaks. They're here saying, look, it's making a flag right here to the upside. Tell me I'm wrong, but they will do the big old measure move. Something crazy. Here, maybe it looks more realistic this way. And they're calling for upside when the chart just told you, the price action just told you, that ain't what I got on my mind at all. So trend lines, very, very important. And I dare say you could strip me of all the indicators and just give me my fib 2 and trend lines, and I'll navigate this freaking market. A lot of times that's all I'm looking at anyway, for real. All right, let me come back to the chat because it's all about you guys and any kind of questions you got. Chris Klein says, yes, dog, this is great. Thank you, sir. Hey. Hope it makes sense. I hope it's clicking. I got a little bit too out there and I got away from what I was really trying to do. I think I still need to go back and cover that. Luckily, I had some shorts open. Made a whole $100. There you go, my man. Looking good, Road Dog, says Casey. I use fibs as well, but a recap is always useful and you have a good handle on them. Hey, thank you for that. It took a while to get it under my belt because it was never really explained well to me. Here, this is one thing I was going to say, you know. Most people, they just tell you, and when I was at, they would just, you just see them pull a fib, and they would be looking at the 618. That's the only thing they would look at is 618. Whether we were going to get rejected at one, sometimes they would say that, or whether we were going to bounce from one. And a lot of times they'd be pulling the same exact fib, and now I do that different. That's where my songs come in, my little rhymes or spells or whatever you want to say. The swing high, swing low, tell me where price is going to go. Swing low, swing high, tell me where I need to buy. That has made a huge difference in how the fibs work for me once I started applying that. And all that is pulling the fibs. If you've already came to a bottom and you're trying to look to where price is going to get rejected, you pull from high to low. You pull from low to high to see how far down price can come. Like from this low to that high, we came to the 1618. That is extra confluence for even the other thing we pulled on that big fib, and that's something you need to understand. The Fibonacci's are based on ratios. That's not even perfect right there, probably. What the hell? Did I do that wrong? No, okay. Did I screw something up? I moved something. But that just gives you confluence. That's what I call confluence between this pull and then what we saw on the bigger ass pull. When you zoom out, you see how little we were just looking at this little thing. But when you zoomed out and looked at what we got here, if I can get it up there, where it absolutely nailed it perfect. Man, that's why I'm stoked on this. I think we might have a local bottom in. May not be the bottom, but it is a definite local bottom from here. It might be the bottom. It might be, honestly. I hope it is. We need it. What's something else that might... This is getting outside of the fibs, but I happen to see the 800 and 600 moving averages here. We hadn't really touched that one. I hope we don't. We might. We don't have to, but sometimes we will touch one of these two, or maybe both of them. So we still got some things to look at, but the fib things that we just saw look very promising. That we might at least have a local bottom. And I'll go over this one more time. Now that we've got a possible bottom, we can start playing that. We can start looking. Just know that if it's not, if prices start going lower, we'll have to change things around. But for right now, and that's where I got these lines, that 236. And so what we're going to do is look and see how the health of this move, and watch and see if we can get back past here, or if we come down, maybe we do a double bottom. That could definitely happen too. That could happen. When she does that, well, then we can take a fib and figure out how far low that she can come, and it may open up a possibility down here. We don't want that, or here, but we'll see. We'll measure that on the way. But there's a good chance that we can at least come up here, 91, 90, 95 even, and we could roll over from there too. So we're not out of the woods yet, but even if we did, I mean, there's still some other things that we can look at. It doesn't always mean it has to come down. But the fibs in the basic terms, it's just a little scale. It's just a little scale between 0 on the bottom on this particular pull, and here 100%. You're just measuring something. You're just taking the percent and blocking it off into percentages. And these magical little numbers, just one of the, that sacred geometry and just a sacred math applying here is just, it's phenomenal. It really is. I mean, our whole existence is built off of Fibonacci. It resonates, and it resonates with energy and waves and it's just amazing. But it applies very well to the energy, and especially the psychological energy that we put into the stock market, and all the computer algorithms out there that also value the Fibonacci. So whether it's some kind of mystical esoteric thing that just weaves throughout the universe, or if it's just a self-fulfilling prophecy, I don't care. I lean more toward the first version than the second, but hey, it doesn't matter. It works. It works almost like clockwork. And let's see, I've got the, let me pull the other fib. Let's see, if we have price that is coming down. No, we did that already, right? Let's get price that's coming up. We got a possible top. Maybe it is confirmed, you know, or maybe it's hit another fib level and we can assume, but it gives us a reason to take a fib from swing low to swing high. This way, our zeros at the top and our ones at the bottom. And basically what we do here, and this is the reverse theory. Let me get into this. Now we're looking for places of strength. And just like this was the discount zone back down here for to buy, these are strong areas. If this 236 area holds, you can get a strong ass move, but it's rare. Mostly usually you'll come down to a 382, especially if you're in a bull market. Bull flags, strong moves to the upside, especially in a bullish part of the market, and that's why you see me shift over to this. You're looking more for the 382 and 0.5 areas. Preferably the 382 area to hold. And if you see that, even if a trend line is broken, that was a sorry ass trend line right there. But even if that trend line was broken and you bounce off of a 382, you might be coming up maybe for a double top, or there's a good chance it will even break through though. That's one of those areas where you can actually take a measure move. Don't apply it to the pattern, apply it to the Fibonacci area. That gives you an AB equals CD, and that will take you up to the extent to the 618 Fibonacci. Measure moves are awesome, and they work well with Fibonacci, okay? If you know how to use them. This is what I think some of your other gurus are trying to do. I think they saw somebody do this and they didn't understand it, and so they're trying to apply it to pattern trading, and then they're trying to put it at the breakouts, and then they're trying to take it up to whatever, up their support system or wherever Bookmap says or something like that, and I think they're getting off track there. I'll say this, if they understood this system the way that I do, they might be pretty deadly. But I don't think they can get past their ego enough to actually open themselves up to learn something like that. If that makes, I think ego gets in the way of learning. But that's just me talking. All right, so we've established that a 382 would be ideal for a good place to bounce in a strong bull market. But normally what you're looking for, what everybody else looks for commonly, and you'll see everybody else when they're pulling fibs, some of them are automatically looking at the 0.618. And that's generally true, especially in the neutral market or slightly bearish market. That's normally where we will go and get a good bounce. And that one, a bounce from there, I'm starting to get into the advanced stuff. So if it doesn't click, it's all right. We'll go over it again. That one should actually take us back up to around these areas right here, I think. And we go from the link that we're measuring there. We put it at the 618. And where does it take us? Right there to the 0.382 from a 618 Fibonacci bounce. Are you taking notes? This is advanced alpha right here. If she were to come back down to the deeper retracements, that's what these areas are. The 786 and 886, those are our deeper areas of retracement. That shows a lot of weakness in it, but if it bounces there, it's got a chance. What that means is it's going to have to do extra work to make a higher high, and it may not. It may just come up and roll over in range when we start hitting these areas. So we have lower targets with those guys, and the most that you can usually hope for is maybe a higher high at the most, but usually you'll get once you pull from swing high to swing low down here, it's about a 7 or 886 retracement. A lot of times they will match up with each other, and that's where we start getting to a little bit of harmonic theory. But you take that same measure move, and then you see we're starting to come up here, especially the 886 takes us up to this 113 area. See that? So there are just a few ideas to wet your whistle. But let me ask you, has this made kind of good sense? The stream kind of got away from me with the price action on Bitcoin, which, by the way, what are you doing, Bitcoin? How's our markets looking right now? They tanked over here. I'm on Bitcoin right now. Bitcoin's at 81,600. Is that higher or lower than where we were? She's still holding? She's still holding so far, I think. She coming back down? You coming back down for a retest? Okay. Oh, was this a flag to the upside? All right, so how would I use fibs here? What would I be doing with them? Well, now that we got a little bit of a top, which it didn't make it over the area that we needed it to, we can also play this little guy. And now we need it to hit at this 886. That's the lowest area we got so far. If she doesn't catch here, she's not going to be a higher low. She's maybe working on, we'll say a double bottom, but more than likely a lower low. And we'd probably be looking at 80. We'd be looking at these targets. And of course, we had the other targets we had before too. But so far, it's come down to the 1 minute. I ain't got any good price action there. We're going down to the 10 to, we're going to go down to the 5 second to see the nitty gritty. If you go to the 5 second, you can see the bounce and trying to play, getting over the 9 moving average. That's where I bring the moving averages in. That's a good sign. It's on the 5 second chart, mind you. This can flip flop any second now. But that's good. Coming down smaller time frame, I look to see if we got any kind of thing. Now she's getting rejected. You can tell she didn't quite make it above her level, so it looks like a rollover is trying to happen. I hope it doesn't. We can even here on the 5 second chart fib it out. Oh, did you do good? You bounced on the 618. That's good. See, she didn't come down to the 886, at least not yet. And now she bounces off the 618. That means we might be in the clear to yes. Even this little small move can tell you. You're gauging the strength. It is telling us that this little tiny move right here has got more strength than what we've been seeing on some of these other ones. So let's see if it works. Let's draw us a trend line. It looks like you tried to break it right there. Dang, man. Where's my account? Where's my account? Throwing a little bit more in there. when I don't have enough to do it. Sweet. And I'm just in profit. Oh man, I had more. Did you not take my trade? Okay, I got $42 in now. Let's see, I've got lower targets. I got one I could chase it with, but I don't really. Dang, look at you. This is good. This is good. This is good. She might get rejected over here. Let's see, but still, from what I'm seeing there, that's cool. She'll probably retest this area here next. We're on the 5-second chart, by the way. Interesting. Have you got a breakout on the 5-second chart? You do, actually. Oh, snap. It looks very impressive on the 5-second chart. Well, it looks impressive on the 1 minute, too. All right, so we caught us 886, and it looks like it's trying to take. Now we got a W pattern. Now we can apply our pattern trading strategies here for W patterns, and we know that we got to get up past here to confirm. And if it does, oh, we got a possible measure move. Takes us back up here to our 800, 200 moving average, about 84,000. And that's cool. We're above the 9. It's got some work to do, but it's possible. Got some decline in volume. Well, I need a few more candles to hang out there. Guys, it's 9:03. We've been doing this for about an hour. Let me come back to the chat here and see how you guys are, how we're doing over here. Oh, shoot, we got a super chat. Could you share the settings? Yeah, sure can. After I take another small little nibble. Just a small. If I got it, I don't have enough. I still got some other orders down below. I'll cancel this one. And keep my other two down here just in case we come. 79 and 80. And then I've got room. Again, I'm using a very low leverage, 5x, because I want to build me a little position as low as I can. I want to see if I can get this thing above 100,000 and then take profits. And maybe by then I'll be back up to break even or wherever, maybe in profit, more than where I started at the $500. It was a $500 account. It's not now. It's more like a $200 account. We made the wrong choices, and bad habits got to us, I guess. Or I wasn't paying attention, whatever it was. But we can make that up with these nice little moves here. If we can just get it. Ichimoku Cloud looks cool there too. So, Roguelite, sorry, I got confused there. Let's share the settings. It probably looks a mess. Actually, it would probably be easiest if you just took a screenshot here. But let me see if I can pull up the. And pull this up, but it is not in order. I'm just sloppy when I did all. But these are the ones. All the ones that are checked are the ones that I use. I've got a -2 and a +2. I've got a +1.38. I'm sure that should be a -1. There should be a positive and negative for every one of these. 0.113, 1.113, 0.414, 1.414. I've even got a 2618 on there. I don't use that. Sometimes it comes in handy. Usually it doesn't. 1.272, that is a very important one. 0.382, that's 886, 786, 0.5, 0.236. But you guys can screenshot that, and I guess I could take a picture of it. And I can post it over into the student chart area. How's that? My fib settings, I'll share that. There we go. Maybe that'll be helpful. Now, I want to say this one thing. I've seen this one person has a paid trading group, and that's one of the things is I'll teach you all about Fibonacci. I've heard him say that, and man, I'm telling you, from what I've seen, he got confused pulling a fib one time. You remember how he knows how to pull from low to high, but when it come to doing it the other way, he was so unsure. The only way that he could do this, He did this on stream, and that revealed so much to me, was to invert the chart. It was so confusing for him of his 15 years experience and expertise that he's charging people for. He had to flip the chart in order to correctly try to pull a fib, because it tripped him up that bad. And mostly what you will get, and it's all I got in my paid trading group too, was, let me invert this back so I don't get confused. It was always, pull a fib and look for the 618. It was usually, from bottom to top, and then you expect to bounce on the 618 or golden pocket. Maybe they'll put the 0.6, I think it's 0.65, and it should be a little line, just a little bit below it. It makes a little, that's what they call the golden pocket, because sometimes it can wick down to that, sometimes, whatever's the theory behind it, but a sweet little spot to buy. The 618 area is all you need to know, in my personal opinion. But hey, whatever floats your boat. But that's all you hear. The 618. Now sometimes I hear this particular person talk about 786 after he's seen other people have luck with it, I think. But that's all. That's really all. That's your education you'll get that you're paid for. 99. That's it. You just pull a fib and wait for the 618. If it bounces there, you're good. There's a lot more you can do with these fibs. A lot more. And I'm thankful for you guys to be here, because I'm willing to share everything that I know. Not that I know everything about it, but I'll share what I do know, that has been just blowing my mind and amazing for analysis. Now, how you execute to get your trades there and how you play it, that's a whole different story. And we got to kind of mesh those two worlds together to try to be successful in this whole game. And that's what I think a lot of people miss. The TA is very helpful. It will help you understand the market, price structure, any kind of TA you do. That's what the goal of it. And it helps you control your emotions and make a plan. The other flip side of the coin is all on you and what goes on up here in your head, what you hear come through your ears, and what goes on in your mind and your emotions. And also tied into that is the rules that you must set for yourself as a trader or investor that you need to follow, and they got to be individual to you and your risk tolerance and your risk management. How you manage the money that you're trading with and how you manage that trade. These are two different animals. They are not the same. You have analysis and then you have your execution. Two different animals, and we're trying to merge them together. The analysis is the easiest part. The analysis and the charting is the easiest part, and you can look like a genius on it. But the real proof comes out in your execution. Just honest. And that's us as a trader and investor's journey, is trying to finesse all that stuff together. Kelly O says, I'm distracted by the price action of Bitcoin too. Fibonacci is the name of the person that's discovered the spiral pattern found in creation. It's like the fingerprint of the creator. Exactly. And it's God's math. When using fibs, you need to keep in mind what time frames you're trading. If you're trading larger macro moves, then draw your fibs according to higher swings. I mix them all, really. When it comes to fibs, I don't really involve time frames at all. It's just the measure of whatever leg I'm moving. Now that can apply to your time frames, I guess, in that sense. But I'll say, your Fibonacci's are not determined on a time frame, like say your moving averages are. Like you can draw a Fibonacci here, and it's going to stay the same if I go to a different time frame. It's always going to be here because it's this mathematical ratio here. Whereas my moving averages, you see them where they are. Yeah, watch me go up another time frame, totally different, but my fib stays the same. So I think. Not trying to dispute. I'm just trying to make that point, that aspect of that point. But I use, I mean, you saw me working the small fibs over here. But when I came up to the bigger picture, man, I got that one, nailed it. That one was perfect. And that's an idea. The bigger structures having more of the solid answers for you than trying to do micro things. So I'd say the terms to zoom out also applies to Fibonacci. Yeah, so I would say that. And zooming out to bigger time frames lets you see the bigger moves that you can apply your fib to. Man, that isn't. I don't like that. I don't like that. I need to ricochet off of that. Ah, Bitcoin, get with the program. Bitcoin's getting on my nerves here. Conversely, if you're trading short term, swings draw the fibs from more local highs and lows. So Casey sounds like she's got a good, he or she, I'm not really sure, a good grasp on fibs, and that's awesome. I gotta go to work. Thanks, Road Dog. I'll definitely watch back tonight. All right, guys. That seems to be the bulk of the chat here. I don't see many other questions. Casey's got some good comments there. Thank you again for that super chat. Let's see. Wait a minute. MG Motorsport says that's where I get lost. Where to start the pool from? Okay, so hopefully I cleared that up, and hopefully the rhyme. That's why I keep saying the rhyme, because that's got the answer in it. Swing high to swing low tells you where price is going to go. Swing low to swing high tells you where price is going to drop down for you to buy. So I hope that comes out. Can you please review what each of the fib areas represents in 1 to 100? We will get into the extensions maybe next class or the next one. It will start. It'll be too much for people to handle in one stream. It's just it was for me. It's like it's too much. I don't want to confuse everybody, so I got in a little bit deeper than I meant to at all here. I meant to just go over the very basics. Fibonacci levels apply so much to life. A lot of times, leaflet pattern. They do. I agree. All right, guys, I'm going to see you again. I'll see you tonight and for the regular show, and then next week, hopefully, all goes well, God willing, we'll have another stream here, and we may go deeper into the Fibonacci there. I'd also like to spend some more time going over some good guidelines and rules that are established, and it's just always good to refresh on that. It's good for me to do that, because sometimes I forget. Oh man, I need to do that a little bit more, or I need to. Oh yeah. That is a bad habit I need to work on, because I really think that's maybe even more helpful than some of the technical stuff, really, at this point in the game, when this is really trying our nerves in the market and everything, working on our tolerances and our emotions and our biases and habits and things like that. This is the perfect time to address those issues and start to reform them when we do get these big drops and things like that. So we may maybe we'll divide it up and do a little bit of both. But thank you guys for being here. I see out there it's 13 people. Hopefully I'll see you tonight. God bless you. Let's go to the end screen, John.
Come on, come here, bud. Come on. You freaky dog. I don't need to analyze every word that comes out is a lie. Make it look like it's so ice. You won't make it to the finish line. Now if you gotta know the truth was gonna let you go. You was fine, never mind, unpredictable. Fade out of the ground, you ain't no one. You a star, blow it up like supernova.
Gotcha, Casey.
Time, hit my hotline. Sharing secrets, you was part your life. Basic bullets, with no bullets. Does your wifey know you're begging for my notice? Promise you're the same, running for the meds.
I guess that depends on what time frame you're looking
at.
at.
Candy on my wrist, bad habits. Little rabbit, now sit down, you can have it.
I would say on the smaller time frame, she's trying to make some kind of bottom pattern. I hope it sticks. Not much volume. There is some bullish divergence on the very small, like the 3-minute time frame. That means maybe a local bottom, maybe.
Give me a miracle. I need a syllable. Talking about big cash, that's the minimum. I'm done with this trash. Talk to me critical. Show me your mental state before we get physical. Heard some wild